right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Leftover fireworks is your stockpile from last year full of duds? Tonight we verify if they have an expiration date.
After a couple of different rounds of severe storms this weekend, we're already targeting on the other side of the holiday for our next severe risk.
First tonight, the day after the storms reveals more damage and more tragedy.
They got trapped. The babies got trapped.
Tonight we're learning a second person died from a falling tree, this time a 5-year-old boy.
Good evening, I'm Robert Townsend. Mike Bush has the night off. That young boy was in his bedroom when a large tree fell onto his Jennings home. Our Mark Maxwell talked with neighbors whose homes were also damaged in the storms. Mark.
Robert, as we drove through North St. Louis up toward Jennings, we could see signs of scattered debris stretched across streets after those forceful winds swept through the region last night. But of course, none of that property damage was more devastating than what happened inside the back bedroom of a home on Hamilton Street. The view from this front porch will never be the same.
We're sorry to hear, and we missed the kid.
Manuel Garza and his wife of 67 years have watched the North County neighborhood change slowly.
We've been here a long time, long before all the people around here.
But on Saturday afternoon, tragedy struck in an instant.
Yeah, we were sleeping upstairs.
An apparent lightning strike cut through a tree on the 5200 block of Hamilton in Jennings.
We heard boom or something, but we just turned around the other way.
Tree branches crashed through their roof.
All that came down.
Leaving his house in ruins.
Yeah, that's my key.
Upstairs.
Okay, come on.
It was even worse.
There you go.
But fortunately for the Garzas,
this was a guest room.
The tree crashed through the only unoccupied bedroom in their house.
Yeah. We've been lucky so far. Other places hit and we never, it was okay, and then here, boom.
His next-door neighbors weren't so lucky.
They got trapped. The babies got trapped.
Caution tape covers the front porch. Carnage in the backyard.
And look at the size of the damn thing.
Neighbors are still reeling from the shock of the impact.
He got hit by lightning. We heard lightning and all that stuff, and then that one is the one that hit the house where the kids were sleeping. Oh. They got trapped in there and they were yelling. And the lady couldn't do nothing.
St. Louis County Police and firefighters arrived to find the 5-year-old pinned under the tree.
I could hear him and I said, well, they're going to get him out. And later on, he got quiet. They said, no, he died.
Neighbors called him RJ.
Yeah, he was a real nice kid, pobrecito, pero...
Emergency responders rescued his unconscious body from under that tree, but he was declared dead at a hospital nearby, leaving his neighbors wrestling to make sense of the cruelty of chance.
Well, we just got to hold on for dear life. What can we do?
The Red Cross has provided some initial aid to that family grieving the loss of their 5-year-old boy. A GoFundMe page just appearing online moments ago for that family has raised more than $1,400. Next door, the Garzas are staying put, waiting for their insurance company to survey that damage before they begin repairs.
Mark, thanks. We're also learning more tonight about a woman who died in the Grove during last night's storms. Severe weather brought a tree down on top of her car while she was inside of it. Police say the woman was 33 years old, but she still has not been identified. A nearby business owner says one of her employees tried to save the woman as she called to 911. Those calls, rather, to 911 went unanswered.
My understanding is that they sat there with her for like at least 30 to 40 minutes and she was still alive, and then until she was not. He just couldn't sleep all night, and I mean, it makes sense, you know, like watching a life just waste away like this out of nowhere.
St. Louis's Department of Public Safety told 5 on your side in a statement they are, quote, investigating the circumstances that led up to this incident. Tonight, more than 50,000 Ameren, Missouri customers are still without power, and more than 37,000 Ameren, Illinois customers remain in the dark. Ameren, Missouri has planned an early morning news conference to update the public on its storm restoration efforts. We will bring that to you tomorrow morning on Today in St. Louis in the 6:30 half hour. All clear tonight in downtown St. Louis right now. We're getting a break from the heat and humidity and those storms, but that break won't last long. Weather First meteorologist Gary Frank joins us now with what we can expect this 4th of July holiday week, Gare.
Yeah, good evening. Good to see you, Robert. And, you know, it's good to see the moon outside. That means things are clearing out. We had some showers that worked their way throughout and kind of sent you inside maybe 15, 20 minutes at a time. But it is quiet outside at the moment. And as you look outside, the big picture shows that this entire storm system that continued to spin little opportunities for rain that we had throughout the day. And some of you got a nice little burst of rain as we zoom back in and show you where those showers worked their way in by 2, 3 o'clock. Nothing severe today. Most of that stayed out of our area off to the southeast, and we are in the all clear. I wouldn't rule out some patchy fog tomorrow morning, but temperatures right now at 74 degrees, a west-northwest breeze at 5 miles an hour. It's still muggy. We'll still stay with that mugginess. And the week ahead, it's a dry start to the week for the most part. It's mostly a dry holiday as well. That's good news for your extended week over the next couple of days, but severe weather chances return probably too soon based on what we've seen. And that's what we're going to discuss here. I think it's very close to right after the holiday, which is why we really want to focus on it right now. We'll talk about the main impacts and when that could arrive coming up in just a minute, Robert.
Thank you. Tonight, other parts of the bi-state area are cleaning up after the storms. This is the damage we found along Hall Street in North St. Louis. Downed power lines and debris litter the streets. A bar near the riverfront was especially hit hard. Take a look at this damage at KJ's Bar on Broadway. Part of the roof was torn right off. Bricks also littered the sidewalk, and patio furniture was tossed around. We're told people were inside enjoying karaoke night when the storm hit.
I got everybody down in the basement. Nobody got hurt. You know, a couple of car windows got busted out because it was, I mean, man, the wind was actually blowing sideways. It wasn't blowing down. You could just see the rain hitting the building to the side.
No one was hurt. The owners say repairs could take some time. Weekend storms knocked out power and damaged homes and businesses all over the Metro East. St. Clair County was one of the hardest hit. 5 on your side's Laura Barcheski shows us around the town that's been torn down partially. And again, that town right now without power, those folks have been without power since Friday.
This is not how people in St. Libory expected to be spending their weekend, but chaotic storms changed their plans.
About 7:15 Friday evening.
And then it just got worse.
Yeah, it came and it kept coming and it kept coming, and it was, best I can tell, straight line winds.
Strong winds wrapped in rain tore through their neighborhoods and others across St. Clair County.
Tree came through this big old pecan tree, which is well over 100 years old. Came down, went through the 2 windows in the dining room, and then I got damage on the roof. Rained yesterday, started leaking. I've called the insurance and everything. So
St. Clair County EMA says trees just like this one, which is about 60 years old, have been uprooted, snapped, and even tossed onto houses all over the county.
We have a tree on the house. I'm being optimistic that it was a soft landing. I don't know that until I get it off, and I had to make room for it this morning to get a lift in here to get up there to see what we've got.
Trees also toppled onto power lines.
The whole town is without power. They have been since about 7 o'clock on Friday.
And now the streets are buzzing.
son brought over a generator, so at least I've got the freezer and icebox.
As the cleanup continues, St. Clair County wants people to work safely, especially around down power lines.
You may walk out there and think that it's not a charged line, but the best thing to do is if you see a power line down, just stay away from it. Let the experts do that.
And while this may not have been in their plans for the weekend, St. Libory neighbors found a way to spend time together.
Thankfully, in a small town the way it is, the neighbors help everybody and kind of comes together and works pretty good.
Reporting in St. Libory, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
Currently, there isn't a good estimate on when power will be restored across St. Clair County. Now, St. Libory residents can take their debris to Winterman Park. If they're unable to haul it there, the mayor asks people to get it out to the curb where St. Clair County responders can pick it up on Wednesday. If you were impacted by the severe weather, we have made it easier to find resources in your area. Just text the word resources to 314-425-5355 and we will send a link of information and resources right to your phone. Tonight, St. Louis police are investigating that's after shots were fired near Ballpark Village. Just as fans were leaving this afternoon's Cardinals games. No one was hit by that gunfire. Police have not released any other information, but our cameras captured them arresting a man near 8th and Walnut and recovering a gun from a trash can. Tonight, St. Louis police are looking for the group who carjacked a man in the DeBoliver Place neighborhood. Now, it happened late last night outside a home on Waterman Boulevard. Police say a group of 6 armed men pointed a gun at the victim's forehead and made him kneel as they went through his pockets. They then took off in the victim's blue 2009 Toyota Camry.
Tonight, an unlikely spark to fireworks sales in Missouri.
I think we were all kind of praying for the rain to come down.
The warning from state officials, plus we verify the safety of using leftover sparklers and bottle rockets.
Most of us received between 2 to about 3.5 inches of rain, which was a welcome sight. But our next chance for rain also involves a severe weather risk. We'll highlight that and talk about how much more rain we're expecting over an active pattern this next week.
Tonight, a fireworks boom in central Missouri where many counties are under burn bans. The state fire marshal is urging people not to set off fireworks because of the added dangers of drought conditions. But this weekend's rain has sparked sales at tents around Columbia.
I think we were all kind of praying for the rain to come down so then the grass wouldn't be as dry, so we wouldn't get as much grass fire with shooting off fireworks and stuff. So the rain has definitely helped us be able to shoot more things and be able to get people to feel more confident about shooting fireworks.
The sale of fireworks is not affected by burn bans. Some people may have some fireworks left over from last year. In tonight's summer guide, our verified team looks into whether they are still safe to use. Here's Audi Daytel.
The 4th of July celebrates America's Independence Day. According to the National Retail Federation, 42% of Americans plan to watch fireworks or some kind of community celebration. Others may put on their own show. While fireworks aren't legal to purchase in every state, the American Pyrotechnics Association says consumers in the U.S. bought 436 million pounds of fireworks in 2022. But what happens to fireworks you buy but don't use? Let's verify. Do fireworks expire? Our sources are the Library of Congress, Julie L. Heckman, Executive Director of the American Pyrotechnics Association, and 3 fireworks retailers. According to the Library of Congress, black powder is what makes fireworks, and our sources say black powder doesn't expire. But when it's exposed to water, it does become ineffective. Julie L. Heckman with the American Pyrotechnics Association says fireworks packaging can degrade over time, which can expose the black powder inside to water. To keep your fireworks safe and sparkling bright for as long as possible, Heckman says they need to be stored properly in a cool, dry place, like a plastic container or a plastic garbage bag. Retailers Uncle Sam's Fireworks and Dynamite Fireworks agree. Dynamite Fireworks says they will last for years when stored properly. So we can verify that fireworks don't expire, but they do lose their spark when exposed to moisture. If you want to toss out some old fireworks, our sources say the safest choice is to let the fireworks sit in a bucket of water for a day so they don't accidentally ignite in the trash. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
Now, a reminder, it's illegal to set off fireworks in St. Louis City, County, and in Illinois. In other areas, you'll want to check with local ordinances about times and other restrictions. What can we verify for you? Send us an email to verify@ksdk.com. A 4th of July tradition returned to the St. Charles Riverfront. Riverfest kicked off today in Frontier Park. There's live music, food, drinks, and a carnival. It will run from noon until 10 tomorrow and Tuesday. On the 4th, there will be a parade and fireworks. Also in St. Charles County, the O'Fallon Heritage and Freedom Fest continues tomorrow. The fairgrounds at the Ozzie Smith Sports Complex open at 4 p.m. Country singer Chris Lang takes the main stage at 9 p.m. Fireworks begin at 10:15. There are several other patriotic displays planned on both sides of the river over the next few days. Text the word fireworks to 314-425-5355 and we will send you the full list to your phone. Meteorologist Gary Frank joining us now with a weather first forecast. Gary, no doubt lots of folks are crossing their fingers for a nice day on the 4th.
Yeah, in the next couple of days, right? A lot of people have this extended weekend, and we saw those. We've needed rain, right? Not only just because of the 4th and how dry it's been, but just in general. And we wanted to kind of just add that added protection. We know we're going to shoot fireworks off. But look at this time lapse here coming in from the Metro East. You saw those clouds build and really put a nice backdrop for some rain. And those pop-up showers, not severe, dumped a lot of quick rain and then cleared out again. That's where we're headed for the overnight hours, but you know, it was actually very picturesque. Got us for some of the late double rainbows. This is from Sharon and Potosi. Look at this double rainbow. Very, very nice. A lot of those photos, we always appreciate that you send those in as well. A nice calm after the last couple of days, and we'll see that here in the overnight hours. As we have those widely scattered showers just to prove that they're all gone, what I do expect overnight is maybe some patchy fog. We got to 87 today, but some spots that were a little cooler like Litchfield, where you saw a few more of those showers. Mid-80s, not all that bad. That's about 5 degrees below normal, so we'll take that. Patchy fog, though, tonight we're at around 67 degrees. You know, for the most part, I do expect that we're going to continue to see a nice next couple of days. I do want to focus purely on the 4th of July, and we'll start by midday because I think a few clouds build like we had today on that time lapse, 90 degrees. And at 4 o'clock, we will see a few very isolated storms develop. I don't think this is going to ruin your plans, but I want you to be aware of them. You're on a boat, you're outdoors. I don't expect this is going to be severe, but there will be some lightning here and there with a few of these storms. And I think we're mostly dry by 9 o'clock with those fireworks celebrations. 88 degrees. We're in pretty good shape. We'll keep you posted on that. But I do want to look ahead to the north. Now, it doesn't look like much right now. The general flow here is coming in from Canada, but we're going to watch this storm system develop and enter the frame. And that's what we're targeting for our severe weather risk on Wednesday. You'll notice this 15% chance. What does that mean? Typically, once we get from days 1 to 3, we'll start to see those more familiar colors, the slight risk, the enhanced risk, the moderate risk. Those are the yellows and oranges. Anthony will have an update for you tomorrow. The Storm Prediction Center has highlighted our area as another severe weather risk on Wednesday, just ahead of it. And that's how the confidence is growing that we're going to see that once again. With that wind threat, and I think as our next front moves through and cools us down, we'll watch the development. I think the timing is going to line up pretty nicely in the afternoon for this and in the evening. So severe weather is possible on Wednesday, and it's going to be an alert day. So I really want to get your attention before we get to that long holiday weekend. Wind gusts over 60 miles an hour and large hail are possible again. Still, consistent rain chances at least alleviate some of this drought. So tomorrow, we're in the 80s still, close to 90 degrees, 94 on Tuesday for the holiday, isolated, but a better chance of storms on Wednesday. Thursday, we're in the mid-80s, and then we're going to stay that way with better rain chances the next few days.
Looking forward to those 80s later in the week, Gary.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
As you can imagine,
Tonight, a new historical marker stands in East St. Louis. The dark moment in American history it signifies. Tonight, tragedy in Baltimore. 2 people are dead after a mass shooting at a neighborhood block party that left 30 others injured.
This is about people who cowardly decide to come to a celebration and shoot it up. These are individuals who made the choice to pull that trigger, but that choice was given to them because of the access to illegal guns.
An 18-year-old woman and a 20-year-old man were killed in last night's violence. Now, at least 3 people remain in critical condition tonight. At this time, there's no information about a suspect or a motive. Remembering a dark moment in our country's history. Today, the East St. Louis Historical Society commemorated a new historical marker for the 1917 race riots. That's when striking white industrial workers massacred hundreds of black men, women, and children for 3 days and destroyed their homes and businesses.
The idea that African Americans could be massacred, brutalized, beaten, shot for working is pretty remarkable, but it is a part of our American history.
Yesterday, the Reparations Now March was held in East St. Louis to remember the victims. A baby and her stuffed bear reunited after a 1,000-mile journey, the special reason why this toy was irreplaceable. Well, from Pennsylvania to New York, then to Florida, a military stuffed bear has traveled hundreds of miles. New tonight, Gabrielle Mediak shows us how social media helped a baby reunite with her special stuffed animal.
Like most kids, 3-month-old Violet Boyer has become very attached to her teddy bear.
So we like to take the bear with us anytime we go somewhere special.
But who her stuffed animal represents,
We'll say, all right, let's get dad.
makes her bear a bit more meaningful than the average child's.
Violet's dad got stationed in Korea 1 week before I found out I was pregnant. He was able to come home for her birth for 3 weeks, and then he had to go back, and we don't know when he'll be home.
Give to Daddy. Good job. Mom, Natalie Balmer, brought little Violet up to Pennsylvania on her maternity leave. The Hershey native now lives in Pensacola, Florida, and they weren't going to leave the military bear behind.
And we had him in her car seat, and he must have fallen out. So we searched everywhere for him. We were looking in bushes, asking all of the surrounding businesses.
Violet's grandma wrote this post on Facebook, which was shared thousands of times, asking if anyone had seen the special bear. And a few days later, she received a message from a family in New York who had found it.
They said in their message that they could tell it was significant, so they wanted to pick it up so nothing happened to it.
The Lau family had been vacationing with their son Nivek in Hershey from Hornell, New York.
I didn't realize that he had picked up a stuffed animal until we got back to the car. It was a handmade bear, and I know that if I made him something and he lost it, I definitely want it returned.
Kevin shipped Violet's bear all the way to Pensacola, Florida, and it was certainly well cared for in the meantime.
When he was saying goodbye to it, he made sure he gave it hugs and kisses goodbye.
I know I cried whenever we found out that it was found. And then when she got it back, she could just tell she was so excited. So we're very thankful that he kept him safe.
Precious story. That was Gabrielle Mediak reporting. Baby Violet and mom are hoping their real dad and husband can make a trip home later this month. Of course, we wish them well. That's all our time for now. On 5 on your side at 10. Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. Now here's Frank Cusimano with Sports Plus.